Greetings, Dennis Daniels here. If you've spent any time with Google Apps Script, you know that the code completion for the HTML and the code is primitive at best, if not horrible. So I found this video that talks about how to use Google Apps with Clasp, and in my case, Visual Studio. So this is the latest Visual Studio 144.2. And how do you connect it? How do you get code completion from Google Apps into Visual Studio Code? It's fairly straightforward. One of the first things you need to do is create a JS file. In this case, I called it gapsscript.js. And then I imported Google apps-script and save that file. And now I also included a file called .clasp-ignore. Make sure you have the dot in there, otherwise it won't work. Then you reference directly the JavaScript that you do not want uploaded, and you could also include other files if you wanted. But for our purposes, this is about code completion. So this is all well and good. And now let's take a look at the code completion. And let's say Drive app. Look at that. Drive app is there. And then you can see that it creates folders, and I can create whatever files I want, which is very cool. So that it does work. Let's just do a logger right there. Logger.log is working, and we'll say hello Giggles, and let's put our semicolons there. Control S. Now we're all good, right? Again, make sure you have a clasp.ignore referencing the file where you are importing the app script, which is right there. So what do we do next? Well, in this case, we are going to do a clasp push. Hit clasp push, pushing files, and it's done. Push through files, easy peasy. And now let's take a look at the HTML file that I created, and that will take us to the live server, which is already running over here. I didn't change this, so it's not going to be a big difference. But if we go to our code, which is right here, what changes did we make? Go to code logger.log. All right, so let's go back, and the HTML, or this code JS, has been updated, but you need to F5 it. You need to refresh the page. And there is our changes. So remember that you have to update you have to refresh your browser. And let's go ahead and run my function just for giggles. I don't even think it will work, but we'll give it a try anyway. Advanced, allow, authorization successful, and now Control Enter to get the log. Wait, I didn't run the function. Let's try running the function first. Running my function. Okay, we didn't get any errors. And in a moment, there we go. So that is how we get Visual Studio code completion tools, etc., for Google Apps Script running. Again, what you need is a reference to the import Google Apps Script. Make sure you include that import as a clasp ignore, otherwise you will have problems. And you are then able to develop directly in Visual Studio and then push your changes straight to Google Apps using Clasp. Again, a big thanks out to Totally Unscripted for the demonstration of how to do this. Thanks for watching and happy computing.